What's up, my comic comrades? Yes, I am back, and I want to say thank you to all of you guys for the well wishes. Although I know many of you were concerned that the source wall breaking may have released an alternate version of Variant this past Monday. Anyway, I'm glad to be back and finally flu free. I know Tim definitely hopes so, right Tim?
Please, God.
Anyway, back to business. The DC Universe app is dropping its third exclusive series this Friday, and that would be Doom Patrol. The show looks like a ton of fun, and a new comic book show also means a new history of episode. So let's take a look at Doom Patrol's comic book roots. The Doom Patrol first appeared in My Greatest Adventure issue 80 in 1963. They were created by Arnold Drake, Bob Haney, and Bruno Premiani. The My Greatest Adventure title was an anthology series that was transitioning into a superhero comic book. And because the Doom Patrol team was so popular within the book, the My Greatest Adventure title was renamed to Doom Patrol by issue 86, but came to an end by issue 121. Since then, there has been several different Doom Patrol series, and the team has gained the nickname the World's Strangest Heroes, as they are made up of misfits and oddities, and that's what makes the team so cool and different. Fun fact, Robot Man is the only character to be in all incarnations of the team. But now it's time for their origins. We get the origin of the Doom Patrol in their debut issue, My Greatest Adventure 80. In the very beginning of the issue, we see a man by the name of Niles Calder, aka the Chief, gather 3 individuals. He tells them you all have become quitters, outcasts. He goes on to say something to the effect that you all are misfits, but you aren't the only ones to have been dealt a bad hand in life. I'm in a wheelchair, unable to walk, but I conquered my handicap with my brain by mastering every field of knowledge. In these rooms, I go on my own adventures with my mind. But these are adventures in which I am unable to participate, catastrophes to be checked, evil to be fought, people to be helped. That's why I need you. But all 3 of the people he's talking to are still like, yeah, no. It's at this point each of their pasts is revealed one by one. The first we learn of is Rita Farr. She was a famous Hollywood actress, as well as an Olympic-level swimmer. Because she was such a good swimmer, she insisted on doing her own stunt in one of the movies she was filming, where she would have to outswim a crocodile. She was able to outswim the croc, but got caught in a current that pushed her down a waterfall. She survived the fall, but where she landed, there was holes in the ground releasing mysterious vapors. These vapors would give her the ability to shrink and grow. At first, it was at random, causing her to give up her acting career, but eventually she would learn how to control it, thus creating Elastigirl. Next, we learned of Larry Trainor. Larry was once a US Air Force test pilot. One day, he was testing the K-2F, an experimental rocket plane that flew higher and faster than any manned aircraft before it. Mid-flight, the gyro controls jammed and Larry could not adjust the glide angle. This caused him to skim through the uncharted wave belts of inner space for hours until the plane started to dip down, which inevitably led him to crash. He survived the crash, and when he tried to save the rescue plane, due to its landing gear being out, a strange energy duplicate emerged from his body instead and saved the plane. After being exposed to the wave belts for hours on end, Trainor can become a being of pure energy by leaving his body as a black energy-like silhouette, a form he calls the Negative Man. He's also forced to wear bandages to contain the radiation. And lastly, that brings us to Cliff Steele. Steele was a daredevil always looking for the next thrill. One day during a European car race, he rounded a killer curve that, as he said, landed him in the hospital fighting for his life. The doctor said his brain isn't damaged, but his body is beyond repair. So one of the doctors said, I know a surgical wizard who might be able to save him if we can get to him in time. They did, and the brain was put into a robot body. Though technically this mysterious surgeon saved his life, Steele thought of himself as an outcast because his fellow competitors thought it was unfair to compete with him, as he now had an advantage due to all the stuff his robot body was capable of doing. After we hear Robot Man's origin, we get a big reveal where Chief tells Cliff that he's the surgeon who saved his life. Because of this, they all gain respect for Chief, and with this newfound respect for Chief, he shows them his facility and tells them that he can help them from here while they fight evil out in the world. So they go out on their first mission, and by the end of the issue, a news headline praises their victory over General Immortus, as well as coining their name, the Doom Patrol. But now that you know their origin, it's time for some story arcs, my friends. In the Doom Patrol's first story, they came together and fought General Immortus. He's a criminal mastermind who lived for centuries with the use of a life-extending potion. He's a member of the Brotherhood of Evil. With that said, I did want to mention that you may have noticed a lot of similarities with the Doom Patrol and the X-Men. Both have a leader and mentor who's in a wheelchair. Both teams are made of misfits and outcasts. Doom Patrol is called the World's Strangest Heroes, while the X-Men's moniker was the strangest superheroes of all. Doom Patrol's group of villains are called the Brotherhood of Evil, and the X-Men are called the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So do you see what I'm saying? There's just a ton of very similar aspects. So much so that many people believe that Stan Lee got wind of the Doom Patrol behind the scenes, since all artists and writers talk, and liked the idea so much, he used it as the basis for the X-Men. Because another thing is, the X-Men debuted only 3 months after the Doom Patrol. If Stan did or didn't get the X-Men concept from the Doom Patrol, we will never know, but it's one of those comic book mysteries that's fun to talk about either way. But back to the Doom Patrol comics. Their original run ran from My Greatest Adventures issue 80 through 121, in which they were killed off when they sacrificed themselves to save the people of Codsville. During this time, the team mainly consisted of its original lineup: Robot Man, Elastigirl, and Negative Man. But they did add new members here and there, like Steve Dayton, aka Mento. He's the world's richest man who builds a helmet to enhance his mental abilities to impress Elastigirl. In the long term it worked, and he ended up marrying her in issue 104. They would even end up adopting Beast Boy. Speaking of Beast Boy, he would also join the team. So if you were ever wondering why he appeared as an original member of the Doom Patrol on the live-action Titan show, that's because in the comics he was on the Doom Patrol before the Titans, even though the Teen Titans is what made him a household name. The first time Beast Boy appeared in Doom Patrol was in Doom Patrol issue 99, when he helped them defeat the Bugman. Weird, but that's his name. Now, skipping some stuff here and there so I could talk about another Doom Patrol character that's gonna be in the show that I haven't mentioned yet, and that is Crazy Jane. Kay Chalice, aka Crazy Jane, was created by Grant Morrison in 1989 during his take and run on the Doom Patrol. Crazy Jane has 64 different personalities, and each of her own personalities has a different power set. So needless to say, it's gonna be really fun to see what they do with her in the series. Grant Morrison's take on the Doom Patrol also had a major change for the team. While originally the members were given their gifts and powers from unfortunate circumstances, Morrison made it to where the chief orchestrated these accidents on people with successful lives. By ruining their lives and making them powerhouse freaks, he thought they'd have nothing to lose and could influence them to go on suicide missions to save the world. It's definitely a more compelling take, and I'm curious to see if this will be a twist in the live-action series. Like basically all superhero teams in comics, the Doom Patrol has had many incarnations and rosters over the years, although its most popular lineup and original lineup is Chief, Elastigirl, Negative Man, Robot Man, and even Mento and Beast Boy. The show, however, is giving us the addition of a later member, Crazy Jane, and then Cyborg, who was actually never a part of the team in the comic books. But as far as other members who have been part of the team over the years, you have Tempest, Celsius, Danny the Street, Metamorpho, Negative Woman, Element Woman, and so on. But with that said, let's get to the New 52. The team is briefly mentioned in issue 24 of the Justice League. The team would appear in the Forever Evil storyline and were killed during a confrontation with Johnny Quick and Atomica of the Crime Syndicate. When Dr. Niles Calder found out his team was gone, he set out to assemble a new Doom Patrol. The newly assembled team would appear in Justice League issue 31 to help Jessica Cruz. The new team consisted of Robot Man, Elastigirl, Negative Man, and Element Woman. Since then, we really haven't seen much of them in the comic books. But that, friends, brings us to powers and abilities. Now, I'm only going to be running down the characters that will be appearing in the Doom Patrol TV series, minus Cyborg because, well, he's not part of the Doom Patrol in the comics. Let's start with Robot Man. His cybernetic enhancements give him superhuman speed, strength, and endurance. He also has heating coils in his hands that are hot enough to melt almost anything. Robot Man has a ton of abilities depending on the body model his brain is using at the time, some of which have weapon systems. Then we have Negative Man. His power is quite simple. His radioactive soul self, which is contained by bandages, is capable of flight, intangibility, and can even generate minor explosions upon contact with positive energy. If that sounds cool, that's because it is. Moving along, we have Elastigirl, who has the power to stretch any part of her body, similar to that of Plastic Man. She can also grow to huge sizes, increasing her mass and strength. She can even shrink down to be very small. She basically is a mix between Ant-Man and Mr. Fantastic. Then we have Crazy Jane, who, like I said earlier, has 64 different personalities, and each one has a different superpower, which makes her incredibly powerful and a valuable member of the team. I just really can't wait to see her go all split in the TV show. And lastly, we have Chief, the creator of the team and all-around genius. But now you probably want to know what are some good Doom Patrol reading material, so let's get to it. Read My Greatest Adventure issue 80, Doom Patrol Volume 1 Crawling from the Wreckage, Doom Patrol Brick by Brick, Doom Patrol Magic Bus, and Doom Patrol The Silver Age Volume 1. That's actually my favorite out of the bunch. First up for Wednesday, February 13th, we have Star Wars Age of the Republic Count Dooku Issue 1. The former Jedi begins laying the groundwork for his Sith Master plan. However, an unexpected encounter with an old student threatens his plans. Here we have Wonder Twins Issue 1. The duo from the ever-so-loved Super Friends cartoon has now got their own series, and I, for one, am definitely going to check it out. Now we have the Amazing Spider-Man Issue 15. Aunt May is in danger and only Spider-Man can help her. You think you know where this story is going, but you don't. And finally, we have the Batman Who Laughs Issue 3. All the pieces are starting to fit together as the Batman Who Laughs acquires another key element in his plan, one that is linked to the founding fathers of Gotham City and the legacy started by the Wayne family. And that, my friends, is gonna do it for another episode of Variant. But remember to check us out on social media like our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All the links for that are in the description as always. But I'll see your lovely faces next time when I talk about all things comics.